Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for August the 19th, 2020. In keeping with the theme of railing on each individual party, since the SNP and Labour have been somewhat targeted, it seems only appropriate that we turn our attention towards the Conservatives. There are many things we could levy at the Tories as proof that they are Muppets over the last 10 years especially, from the argument of whether or not austerity needed to happen or should have happened, to the failings around the NHS, to the handling of Brexit, and of course the more recent Corona-chan. So basically, there's plenty one could attack the Conservatives for. For today's video though, I would like to talk about how well the Conservative Party, in a truly marvellous way, have handled the GCSE and A-level results. GCSEs are examinations usually sat by 16-year-olds, A-levels by 18-year-olds. These results are usually around about now handed out, but with coronavirus many students were unable to sit these exams because all the schools were shut, and colleges, and unis. So instead, the Conservative government, with the assistance of the Education Secretary Gavin Williamson, introduced a algorithm. Air quotes around that word. By all means, roll your eyes when you hear me say algorithm. The intention of this algorithm was to determine what the grades of the student would have been, but it required certain key information that made it look like it was penalising people depending on where they lived, because postcodes were a relevant factor. I did discuss this on Friday on the Political Recap with Trups, and of course on Monday when talking about Keir Starmer's stance on this, because he's right. There were also accusations levied at the UK government and the SNP in Scotland, because the system seemed to penalise people by intentionally downgrading people, which led to many people not being able to get into the college and or university they wanted to. Granted, many universities do in fact have additional spots that would have ordinarily gone to EU students, but, of course, standards are important. Well, it turns out Gavin Williamson was warned a month ago about the exam chaos, despite his initial claims that he only found out about the A-levels, air quotes, disaster on Saturday. There have been mounting calls for him to quit, with him claiming he intends to stay on. I do think one mistake isn't an indicator you should walk away. You should fix your mess first, and if you can fix it well, we'll consider putting you on time out. The claim that he knew last month came from the Education Select Committee, who had warned that the proposed method of an algorithm to calculate grades caused significant problems and may well hurt the disadvantaged. Many MPs now are calling for the Department of Education minutes from official meetings to see exactly when ministers became aware of potential problems, something which they will undoubtedly get their hands on eventually. The total percentage of grades that were lower than teacher predictions was 40%. I'm starting to see why many have chastised this algorithm. Initially, Gavin Williamson blamed Ofqual and said the government had been assured that the algorithm would stand scrutiny and that the regulator didn't deliver. Interesting to note, one of the first articles that surfaced after that was an article going into Ofqual pointing out that many people that worked there didn't have any of the relevant qualifications to be there. Not that I think it matters if you've been working there long enough, it doesn't actually mean anything at all, really, does it? Since then, the Department of Education has said that pupils will get their centre assessment grades on Thursday, an amendment to the GCSE ones, that is, and that the A-level grades will be fine, totally. But while the Department of Education said on Thursday, the department has also said official results will be released to students next week, so they don't get them at all for an additional week, which puts a lot of pressure on them when it comes to getting into college. There are cut-off points after all, and they start in September. Since that, Gavin Williamson has gone on BBC Breakfast to apologise, saying he wants to make sure that every student gets the grades that they deserve. When David Cameron was in office, his first term especially, not the 1 year second term he did, his government was renowned for U-turning. We're not long into Boris Johnson's premiership, and we've already got one of a number of U-turns. And this one's a bad one. This one's a mistake they've actually made. Coronavirus, a lot of it is down to hindsight. This one is a cock-up from the offset. There is a level of uncertainty about admissions from the service UCAS, and universities themselves have yet to be granted access to the upgraded results, which means many students are still left in limbo. There is a belief that when the government reshuffles its cabinet next, Gavin Williamson will be out of a job. I don't think he will, but I'm open to being proven wrong. With this, I'd love to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comments down below.